got a condition called Irlen syndrome. That's why I got these Irlen filters that are called Irlen filters. And well, I was diagnosed back in 2012, where it was one of the LSAs in my class in college noticed that I was struggling to copy from the board as I was slower than everyone else in the class. And that's when I had was the first step in the Irlen diagnosis of Irlen, was when I went for a screening where they looked what affected me, what the Irlen affected me, how it affected me, and it went through the overlayers, which one was the best for me. And I remember that time was an aqua colour. Well, it changed because that was not as good then. And colour paper that I was swallow blue, that helped me a lot. But I was never taught about the glasses. Like, I never researched either to 2014, where I started researching then, and then 2015, I think it was, when I had my first classes where I went for the Irlen assessment, which colour was the best for me, which would help me. So I went ahead with that, and then that's when my Irlen journey started, really. And yeah, everything's just happened since then, and it's amazing, like how colour can help someone in that way is really amazing. Like, and I'm gonna share talk about Irlen syndrome, what it is, and how, because these are my fourth pair now, and how having these glasses have helped me with my Irlen. So I'm going to talk about it first. Right. What is Irlen syndrome? Well, Irlen syndrome is a processing disorder. It is not an optical problem. It is a problem with the brain, how it processes visual information. Those with Irlen syndrome, the brain is unable to process full spectrum of light. This results in those with Irlen syndrome, the brain is unable to process full spectral light, a range of disorders in the environment, a range of disorders on the printed page, and physical and behaviour symptoms that does cause problems. Like, there's kids in school and they're being misdiagnosed for Irlen, and that's where I was missed in school. They just called me lazy or just put me down as a learning difficulty because they didn't really know what the symptoms of Irlen syndrome were, because they didn't know. This is why it's so important that schools know about this. Like, every school leads an Irlen screener, so then any kids that could have Irlen syndrome can get screened and then thought, like, what, helped. Because, it's important that kids get diagnosed with Irlen. Like, it's very important to start, because with me, I never had no GCSEs really, because they took me out of it. The teachers didn't want me to do it because they know I'd fail. And all I did was entry level. So that made me suffer with going into college, because there was nothing I could do because they wanted me to have grades. So the only thing I could do was start off with a level 1 course, and well, now I worked myself up. Start off with a level 1 land-based studies course, up to a H&D course in agriculture that I'm nearly finished, and because of my glasses, they have helped me. And I'm now going to say about the symptoms. Well, actually, first I'm going to say about who's affected by Irlen syndrome. Nearly 15% of the general population has got Irlen, but 50% are usually confirmed as dyslexic when they might not have dyslexia or they have both. You don't, some people have the one condition or the other one, but mostly they're misdiagnosed with one condition when it's really Irlen. You know, and it's just tricky to get people to understand about it. Right? I'm going to tell you about the symptoms about Irlen. What are the symptoms? Well, light sensitivity that I suffer with. So they're like bothered by fluorescent lights, glare, bright lights, sunlight or night driving, poor achievement, poor processing, reading, grades do not reflect effort and knowledge, test scores lower than expected, avoids reading, or does not read for the pleasure. Like, I couldn't read for long without my glasses. Like, reading problems with clarity and or sustainability of the print or the background can be affected. Can affect reading of words, numbers, or musical notes. Poor speed, efficiency of composition, and enjoyment. Poor attention and concentration. Easy distracted and have problems starting tasks and staying on task, and may become restless, rigidity or anxious. Discomfort or fatigue, feeling strained, tired or sleepy when reading and with other activities. Headaches and physical symptoms would be like headaches, stomach aches or migraines, which do not have a medical cause from reading, homework or other or activities. Poor depth perception, that would be ability to judge distance or spectral relationships. Can't pronounce that word, but difficult features that I have suffered with. I wouldn't have been able to step on one properly. Stairs, ball sports, or driving. That is a typical thing for Irlen. Like, there is people that are driving, but they find it difficult to drive at night, or because if they're looking at, like, it's depth perception too, that would cause problems with driving. Those with Irlen syndrome. So it is a big problem. Like, it's not just children, it's in children and adults. And sometimes adults are diagnosed when they're adults because it's been missed when they were children. Like, I was nearly missed. And all this can be, treated with colours by the only places that I would recommend is going to an Irlen certificate Irlen centres with central possession tinted Irlen filters worn as glasses or contact lenses. And sometimes they do ask you to do a Irlen self test label. That is a label from the person that you would go to. Then there is the Irlen screening to identify all symptoms and whether the colour will help the person with their Irlen, if they have Irlen. Irlen's perceptual evaluation to identify each visual's inquiry to warn colour for optical benefits. Provision, if recommended, of Irlen filters worn as glasses or contact lenses, and they recommend to have a checkup. Maybe the first one might be like 6 months, and then it will go up to a year, because it's always important to have a checkup to make sure your Irlen filters are working properly. Like, you don't want to be going, oh, I'm fine, my glasses are working alright. But I would say it's best to go and have your glasses checked. Like, the colour, for some people, the colour does change. Like me, I've changed 4 times I got my first one in 2015, so I've changed since then. Like, I've had my first one in 2015, and then I changed 2016 to my second pair, and then again 6 months or 8 months later I changed to my other, my third pair. But I'm on my 4th ones now, and I think they're much better, because I went to Irlen he's based in Derby and London, but he came down to see me for my Irlen assessment, because there was a time where back in May, I went to this talk he was doing, because it was the first time I ever went to met him, and he noticed something was wrong with my glasses, and he's like, oh, you're blinking a lot, and he checked why. Well, he was worried why, and I think it was September. He came down to see me, and he changed, he went through all the different colours, which ones that could help me, and I came up with indigo, grey, and very light purple. So it's always good, you need to find the right person to do it, because you don't want to be going for a colour and it doesn't work. And that's the problem I must have had with my other ones, that it was done properly, but not that. It's always important to have a long assessment, because to get the benefit of the colour, to find the best one. So yeah, it's always important, because the benefit of the Irlen filters is improvement of reading, copying computers with speed, cooperation, relief from pain, discomfort or frustration, relief from headaches, migraines, reduce stress and anxiety, greater confidence, that I have got so much now, better concentration, attention, improved performance, improved depth perception, and driving a sport. That's the best thing, that the Irlen filters help so much. They're just life changing for loads of people just like me. And yeah, I find it, because my confidence is grown more in these 4 weeks, because I'm making this video that I think I'll never be able to do, and I feel now I can do stuff, I'm gonna plan my next talk, because I just did one in my college, in awareness week, and that went really well, so I might be asked to do another one for the college, because not all teachers could have come to that one, so I'll be getting, hopefully I'll hear soon about doing a video, talk to them, and hopefully get filmed. So yeah, it's an amazing experience.